There's a new kind of revolution unfolding in India. But this time, it's not about software or services. No, this one is being built from the ground up on pure science and engineering, and it's aimed at solving some of the biggest challenges humanity is facing. So let's get into it. To really get a feel for what's happening, we're not going to start with the big picture. Instead, let's zoom in on one single, powerful story, a massive achievement in the fight against a disease that touches millions of lives. What you're looking at here, this represents a huge leap forward. This is India's very first successful allogeneic CAR T therapy. And believe me, this isn't just a small step up. For so many patients, this is a total game changer in cancer treatment. So what exactly is CAR T therapy? Well, to put it simply, it's a kind of treatment that turns your own body into a super-targeted cancer-fighting weapon. Scientists take your T cells, think of them as the soldiers of your immune system, and they engineer them in a lab to hunt down and destroy cancer cells. It's pretty incredible stuff. And this quote from Ajay Hinduja really just hits the nail on the head. This isn't about importing technology from somewhere else. This is about building it right here. This breakthrough is a direct result of homegrown Indian talent and innovation. But here's where it gets really clever. The big innovation here is the type of CAR T therapy. The traditional way is super personalized, which makes it complicated and frankly incredibly expensive. The approach used here, the allogeneic one, uses pre-prepared cells from healthy donors. Think of it as an off-the-shelf solution. And that one difference is everything. It's what could slash costs and make this treatment available to millions more people. So you might be asking, how did a breakthrough like this even happen? Well, that amazing cancer therapy isn't just a one-off success story. It's actually one of the first big signs of a much larger movement, a huge ecosystem that's powering these kinds of innovations. And we call this movement deep tech. Now, this is not your typical tech startup scene. We're not talking about another food delivery app. Deep tech companies are built on major scientific discoveries. They are tackling the really hard stuff, those fundamental problems in healthcare and agriculture that have honestly stumped us for decades. And the scale is already pretty mind-blowing. Right now, India is home to over 3,000 deep tech startups. And just to put that into perspective, that's not some tiny niche part of the market. That's a huge and growing piece of the country's entire startup world. And you know what follows that kind of talent and brain power? Money. Big money. In 2021 alone, these startups raked in $2.7 billion in funding. I mean, that is a massive vote of confidence from investors who are seeing the incredible potential here. Now, if we just zoom in on one piece of this whole ecosystem, biotechnology, the growth is just wild. It was a $63 billion market back in 2019. The projection for 2025, $150 billion. That's more than doubling in just 6 years. It's exponential. All right, so growth like that, it doesn't just happen by accident. It's not a coincidence. This is all happening because of a very deliberate, very focused national strategy to build a world-class innovation machine from the ground up. And the really smart part is that this strategy is super targeted. It's a framework they call BioE3. That's for bioeconomy, engineering, and environment. And it focuses all that effort on key areas that can have a massive impact. We're talking about everything from making advanced medicines at home, to creating sustainable food, to developing crops that can survive a changing climate. So you've got this great vision, right? But how do you actually make it happen? Well, you have to build the infrastructure. And at the very core of this whole plan is a new network of incredibly advanced facilities, the BioE3 centers. And listen, these are not your average university labs. Think of them more like launch pads. They're state-of-the-art, certified facilities that have everything a startup needs to go from a brilliant idea to an actual product. We're talking clean rooms, advanced equipment, regulatory support, all the expensive, complicated stuff that's usually out of reach. It's basically a bridge from the lab to the real world. Okay, so all this strategy and billions of dollars, it's fascinating. But what does it actually mean for you, for me, for everyday life? How is this deep tech revolution actually going to show up in our world? Let's bring it back down to earth. Let me just ask you a couple of questions. What if we could use AI to predict and prevent premature births? Or what if your healthcare wasn't one size fits all, but was tailored specifically to your unique genetic code? Well, that's not science fiction anymore. It's actually already happening. Just look at a few of these real-world examples. You've got the Garbony project, which is using AI to make pregnancies safer. Then there's Map My Genome, which is literally putting the power of your own DNA right into your hands. And companies like Core.ai and Audios are using AI to bring top-tier medical diagnostics to some of the most remote parts of the country. It's all about access. So when you put all these pieces together, the incredible scientific breakthroughs, this buzzing startup ecosystem, the strategic government push, you have to ask yourself, what does the future hold? Is India on the verge of becoming the new global hub for innovation?
I mean, this timeline really puts the incredible speed of this change into perspective. Just look at that jump, from a solid base in 2019 to that massive forecast for 2025. This is not slow and steady growth, folks. This is an explosion. We are watching the foundation of a new bioeconomy being built in real time.
And as we start to wrap up, I think this quote brings us right back to the human side of all of this, because the ultimate goal of all this tech, all this investment, it's not just about economic growth. It's about building a future where these life-changing innovations are accessible to absolutely everyone. So, I'll leave you with this big question. We've seen all the pieces: the thriving ecosystem, the smart national strategy, the world-class talent. The question really isn't if India can compete anymore. The question is, are we actually witnessing the rise of the world's next deep tech superpower?
All the pieces are on the board. The whole landscape of global innovation is being redrawn right before our eyes. The only question left is, what world-changing problem will India's deep tech revolution solve next?